Downstairs?
The curtains and the carpets do not match. Still very good.
Yeah.
I'm going gray up top, not going gray down
Still
there.
dark in the pants?
Yes.
And we don't mean you pooed yourself.
Yeah.
But we're not positive.
You want to clarify that because normally when I hear dark in the
I
pants,
got a dark in the pants.
That doesn't sound good, man.
you think it's a pickup line to a girl. I'll be like, hey, by the way, I'm still dark in the pants.
Dunkin' is the official coffee of the KVJ Show. America runs on Dunkin'. The KVJ Show is now live on 97.9 WRMF.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
Welcome to Wednesday. It is KVJ Show. Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah. Welcome to it. Here we go, baby. We'll say what up to people already up and on KVJ TV here this morning. Getting it going. You can dial it up right now on YouTube, pull it up on your flat screens, check it all out, or watch it later on demand. Whatever you want to do. It's all good. You said that Jaybird is accidentally trendy. It piqued my interest. I'm like, this is fantastic. I'd like to find out how, and like, how am I out of the loop?
Oh, we don't have to get into any of that.
Why not?
Nah, it's a side conversation. I do not want to talk about it, actually.
Why?
Because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings is all.
Okay, all right.
Well,
I guess I'll have to find out later.
Well, I thought someone did something wrong, and then Virginia tells me that I'm actually the wrong one, but I don't want to get...
So something came back in a certain way that you looked at and said, well, that looks terrible. And then Virginia's like, actually, that's the style is kind of what it was?
Exactly.
Huh, okay.
He's accidentally on point with his style.
Well, you know what? That's good. Hey,
That
if you
never
can if you
happens.
can fall into something like that, that's great. I just keep going on, and I figured, that's what happens with style. Everything comes back. So I'm going to go through life where there's going to be parts and times where I'm going to be in style, and other times I'm going to be horribly out of style. Because I don't think I'm changing.
I'm not changing.
You need to burn those cargo pants, though. I mean, that's never going to come back.
That's actually debatable, Virginia. I don't know. A lot of people actually defend cargo pants.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not the guy you should look for fashion advice.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. In fact, I would say 40%, maybe 30 to 40% of people were strongly against cargo shorts, but a good 60 to 70% were like, no, like I wear them, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with cargo shorts. That's about where it stood.
Mags and all her friends wear high-waisted mom shorts.
Those are coming back for some reason.
I would look terrible in those.
I've noticed.
For girls.
It's a thing, though. I've noticed that.
It is a thing. All of her little friends, they're not like wearing super tight shorts like maybe we did in the 80s. Now it's all about these weird, baggy, big, and up really high.
I thought we got to a point where we all looked at that and said, boy, that looks terrible. And now we're like saying, no, now it looks great. How is it that our eyes change? Well, I don't get
They love it. I still think it looks bad, but I'm not telling her that because I think baggy is better.
You know, Jaybird, this does leave a chance for the mullet to come back.
The mullet's never going to die, unfortunately.
It hasn't died,
yeah,
but I mean,
right.
for it to come back mainstream, where, I mean, your A-list movie stars in the 80s were rocking mullets.
You're right.
And we were looking at it being like, that looks great. Like, I couldn't imagine your hair looking any other way and it looking good.
It kind of bled into the early 90s as
It
well.
sure did. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a chance that we could see that again. I mean, hey, if the long-waisted, what are those things called?
High-waisted mom jean shorts is
Wait.
what Mags and all of her little friends are wearing.
See, that's a crazy concept for me, for teenage girls to want to wear anything that has mom in the title of it.
I know. I don't think they call them
They
mom
don't.
shorts. I call them that because then
Okay.
people my age know what they are. Like, they're big on top.
Yeah.
Now, they are cut pretty short, and some of the girls, you can see, like, their butt cheek a little bit. Mom never wore them like that.
Well, maybe not your mom.
Your mom didn't either.
She didn't. When did women start really wearing the Daisy Dukes? I know they had it on Dukes of Hazzard, but I'm talking where everybody was wearing.
I think it was late 80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s?
Yeah.
They were
had
tiny.
They had the song Daisy Dukes, and I was in 89, somewhere around there, and that's when it really came.
Look at them girls with the Daisy Dukes on.
Yeah.
Was that
I want you
89?
to.
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, honestly, like, I still see them, though. My daughter, they wear, the cut-off denim shorts, high.
They wear the high-waisted ones that are kind of baggy.
I don't know if they still call them Daisy Dukes. They might have a different name now, though.
They're not Daisy Dukes. Because Daisy Dukes are small. They
Yeah.
go low and they cut high. They're tiny and they're tight.
Yeah.
That's
I still
the difference.
seem to see those.
You
every
do?
now and then.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't see those.
Yeah.
93 was Daisy Dukes. Them girls are Daisy Dukes. Huh?
Okay.
I want you to.
That was the era.
That was my jam.
Yeah.
That was
and
my
that was your
cut.
era.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, man.
Double,
The
double.
Summer of Bird.
All
Yeah.
those songs sound the same, like Donkey Butt and Kitty Kitty.
Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie
Yeah,
Roll.
baby, that's that bass sound. That was very South Florida,
It
man.
was.
That was the
I
Miami
put my
bass
hand
sound.
up on your hip. When
Yeah.
I dip, you dip, we dip.
That was
That's
so.
where we need to come back. What about freestyle? Freestyle and Miami bass sound.
Love it.
Uncle Luke, come on now.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about today, Jay-Bird?
Now, I don't know if this is a coincidence, but yesterday, for what was on my mind, I talked about this road and how dangerous it is, and there's no lights on there, and someone's gonna die if it's not fixed.
Yeah.
And I go out there this morning, and every single light is on. The entire road is lit. Coincidence? Was that gonna just happen, or did Bird move the needle?
How long had the lights been out?
They had been out for I would say, close to a month.
Wow.
Yeah, then at that point, yeah, I don't know.
Take
Maybe
full
you did.
credit.
I gotta take full credit on
Yeah.
that. That's weird. The next day,
Yeah.
I
And
mean-
they've been out that long.
they had been out that
Yeah.
long. They've been out so long to the point that's why I brought it up. So do you think somebody heard that?
You never know, Bird. I mean, you're a powerful man in this
He
town.
is. He is. I was going to say that.
Or is it
So
just
true.
mere coincidence? I don't know. You wish it and it can happen. The secret.
Get some lotto numbers up there.
Power radio is what it is.
Seeing 4 for some reason. Number 4. Write it down, Virginia.
All right, I always go play the numbers that you say, and then we never hit it.
Yeah, if that's the case, okay, I'd love a large pizza right now. If everything I say comes true on the air.
Yes. What you got in your mind today, Virginia?
Well, it's been a while for me. I don't know if it's been a while for you guys since I've gone to the Melting Pot. Do you like that place?
I do.
I love the Melting Pot. And seriously, Panda and I, our first date back 10 years ago almost, was at the Melting Pot. And for our anniversary, which just passed, we were going to go, and then we got all busy with the kids, and we didn't get a chance to go. So we went last night, and you know they've added stuff where it's not just a pot. It's a pot with fondue. It's a pot with oil or bouillon. Now they've added a grill. You can grill at your table at the Melting Pot
That's
now.
smart because, yeah, that would be probably my one hesitancy going. And even when I had gone last time, I got like the better for you oil
The
or whatever.
bouillon is
Yeah.
better. It's like a broth.
Right.
The oil's not good for you. I mean, we all know this. Fried stuff isn't good. I mean, yeah, it tastes great.
I always thought they'd do well with a sandwich, a dipping sandwich. You could get like a personal one, a little small. Follow me on this. A little melting pot of your own, really smaller, with the whatever sauce, and then you dip your little sandwich in there.
I love it.
I know.
Like a fondue sandwich.
Yes.
I love it.
I always thought they should do that.
My kids had so much fun last night.
Yeah.
Rocco looked at us and said, "This is more fun than Chuck E. Cheese."
Really? Wow. That
I
is
mean,
quite a statement from a 3-year-old.
That is big. He was just loving the being busy. First the cheese comes out and you got to cook the cheese. And then like the appetizers come out and you got to cook those. And then the grill comes out and you cook your meat in that. And it's a fun thing to do because it's very interactive. And if you've got a kid that's like short attention span, it keeps them busy. We were there for 2 hours and he did not melt down, and that is a miracle.
Wow. Okay.
Side note about Chuck E. Cheese, I'm hearing a lot of buzz on the street. A lot of people hitting me up saying their pizza is pretty darn good currently. Did they do something different to their pizza?
I told you the other day I was there and I had the cheesy bread and it was fantastic.
I've gotten about 4 or 5 comments in the last week. Bird, check out Chuck E. Cheese. They're doing good things right now.
I love what they're doing. They're doing it right too with the game card. You buy time, you don't buy tokens. So if I know I'm there with my kid for an hour and I want him to play for an hour, I buy the card for an hour and then I don't have to worry about tokens.
That's pretty cool.
Mama, you are making me so hungry. Are we doing breakfast today? It is summertime. It's almost the weekend.
It's a good call.
I got to fit in a dress on Saturday. I ain't doing that.
What got in my mind yesterday, I was telling you about this video that I had watched. It was kind of like a thermal camera that they were using to detect when people were farting. I was like going, this is amazing. And so some people had said, oh, I got a thermal camera. We can try it out. A lot of people use it for hunting and whatnot.
The video you showed us was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great because it would show people in regular and then flip to thermal cam and they'd be just kind of like chilling out and all of a sudden, poof. And you're like going.
You could see the fart.
Well, it was kind of interesting because you'd see, okay, where in public people are farting and they're just like farting right next to other people. I'm like, wow.
It's a bold move.
It is a very bold move. It just goes to show you that how cavalier we are with our gas that we just don't even care. And so thank you very much to Lilia Camacho. She sent me this email, and she said, and it was the clips of the video that I had seen. Mythbusters actually tried this with a thermal camera, and it didn't work.
Oh, I know Lily. She's one of Maggie's friends.
She is.
Yeah.
Well, tell her thank you very much for being such a diligent researcher. I do appreciate that.
So Mythbusters proved them to be liars? This video is fake?
But I always felt like we were kind of always against Mythbusters. You know what I mean? We're kind of in competition with them.
Yeah, but they are smart
And have a budget.
and well-funded.
Equipment.
They found that the gas from a fart was too warm and not dense enough to register on the camera. The gas itself is also very close to room temperature, so it's hard to see on camera. Your breath doesn't show up on camera either. So that would be the argument. But, you know, yesterday, Lynn, one of our listeners who had volunteered a camera, had said that it was so sensitive that actually if you had your warm footprint on the ground, it would show that. You'd pull your foot away. So that's why I'm like going, okay, so to me, that almost contradicts or at least brings to question if you're saying that, you know, they found that the gas from a fart was too warm and not dense enough to register, and they said it was too close to room temperature, so it's hard to see on camera. That doesn't those two sentences alone almost seem like they contradict itself?
So basically, we're to either believe Mythbusters or Lynn from KVJ Nation.
So let's just do it ourselves. Lynn has the
I
camera.
still might try it, yeah.
Lynn has the camera. I'm going to load you up with garlic, Kevin.
It's got to be me.
You're going to have a bunch of garlic. I'm going to have a bunch of raw onions. And Jaybird's going to have Pizza Hut because that's all of our poisons.
We probably should not all be in the same room doing this.
No,
That would be tough.
blood in, blood out. We go down together.
Come on,
Maybe we
Kev.
could have a competition since it's there. We could all sit on a bench, and then when it shows up, ding, you get another point.
I
you know?
love it.
Yeah, the fart games. This could be a new thing.
I feel like I let everybody down though if I just don't get gassy.
Well, you better bring it.
Better bring it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate always the feedback that we get from people. Mail at kvjshow.com with your thoughts and your perspectives. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, a few things that are in our outrage culture, things that are making us insanely crazy, including what has Jaybird in an outrage today as well. So we got a lot of outrage culture to dip into coming up next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Every day, the outrage culture that we have is picking up something new to be outraged about. It's kind of crazy. Jaybird's got something today. Should he be outraged at what got him today? We'll discuss that here in a second.
I was outraged. That's a bit much.
Well, I think Virginia will be outraged.
Okay, we'll see.
Who hurt you, baby?
I know. We'll talk about it. We'll get into it.
A couple things. One, thank you for the email yesterday. We were talking about the Stoneman Douglas student that had gone onto social media and was upset because he had been turned away from Harvard after being accepted. And apparently it was because at the age of 16 he had put something out that had gotten the attention of the people at Harvard, where he was using the N-word, and they rescinded his admission into the university.
Is he a white guy?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And so there was, some commentary, and I read some of the threads that was going on about that, and a couple of emails here. Just kind of like fill in some of the key details with the Kyle Harvard story. It says here, first off, it was, just to clarify, not on social media. And from what I could tell from the comments I was reading is that it sounded like there was a video and, it was N-word jocks had been used in that. It was actually made on a private Google Doc between so-called friends.
Oh.
So that was maybe what had been done, and then one of the so-called friends
Turned it in.
Yeah. So that is definitely different than posting it on social media. And some other commentary on that. Over 2 years has passed since Kyle made these statements. And have you heard one other story about him since then that could even be close to racism? He's done quite a bit of activism, meeting with all sorts of politicians and trying to do good. They go on to say, I'm not defending what Kyle said or think it's okay. There's a difference, however, in actual racist people and stupid teenagers being ignorant, dumb you-know-whats. A kid that graduated second in his class out of almost 1,000 kids and scored 1550 on the SAT and was admitted to Harvard previously doesn't deserve to be kicked out because of dumb things he said years prior. What is your policy for redemption? How long must someone not be forgiven for? My comments on it yesterday is like I said, I'm a big fan of redemption, and I think the biggest way to go on the path of redemption is to act it out. Be walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And, so I think it's great that Kyle is doing that kind of stuff. And the comment that I had made yesterday on it is just because my son had gone through the process and a lot of his friends that he had done. He's one of those kids that's a little bit more into the academia. And so I was kind of seeing it. And
Bragger.
Top of a class. No big deal.
Everybody got their own little thing.
I have smarter
He
kids.
actually wasn't on top of the class, and that was the thing.
Let me guess, you get one of those bumper stickers that said, my kid's an honor student.
No, he did not.
My mom always hated those stickers because she never had an honor student.
But just from talking to some of his friends that were at the school that were really pushing for some of these Ivy Leagues, and the one kid that was the valedictorian that had pretty much a perfect or almost perfect score on the SATs that didn't get into any private schools, I started to realize, wow, man, the criteria that any little thing that separates you from one of these schools could be a difference. And if it had been on social media, I'm like, if all things were considered and a school's looking at two people that are close, then one will be there. And it's not about redemption. This is just a story of saying, well, with all things considered, if you've got this little strike against you that you did even when you were 16, we might choose the other person over that.
Yeah.
Because there's no drama with this person.
Right.
There's no.
They don't want heat.
There's no media with this other person.
Right.
Yeah, and so that was really it. It wasn't like, we need to punish him and teach him a lesson or anything like that. But, hey, look, I believe in redemption, but when you do screw up, there might be some consequences that you got to pay, and sometimes a long time down the road. And that, unfortunately, is the pain of sometimes making a mistake. So my overall lesson was just be careful of things you post socially. Now, I think probably part of what the issue was here is this whole story's been politicized, and people have probably tried to sabotage the kid, and I don't think that's cool if that's what happened with Kyle. So that's not cool, and hopefully he's learned his lesson. It sounds like he's on a good path of redemption.
Well, I had heard that there was also people that didn't believe in the anti-gun movement that actually shared that were it was politically based because Kyle had been outspoken against guns and protecting kids in schools, and then that's how it came to Princeton from.
And it became a politicized issue.
Exactly.
It seems like anything that has a scandal attached to it now can become a politicized issue.
And if you're
Really.
Princeton, if you're Princeton, you don't want a scandal.
Harvard, yeah.
Or Harvard or whatever the
See,
hell
this is
it
how dumb we are. We don't even know the difference, Kev.
I think they're the same.
Ivy League.
Very good.
Same
Virginia.
category.
I don't know
We'll take-
anything about either one of them. I think they're the same.
Megan sent in an email on the outrage culture about dodgeball elitism. We were talking about that and how some schools are saying that it just doesn't seem like we should be doing this on playgrounds anymore because the more athletic kids are ganging up against the other kids, and it's kind of a way of, singling people out, making them feel less than.
That's the case with every student. We try to get the best kid out back in Lake Park.
And Megan said, how is athletic talent any different from academic talent? People want to call out dodgeball for making less athletically inclined people feel bad, but what about when a teacher calls on a less academically inclined student to answer a question in class and they don't know the answer? And sometimes I know that they would do that to try to make a point or to sometimes embarrass. And I think that if that's your intention, then that can be wrong. But I know teachers who do that because it'd be the one student that probably is not doing well, that's not paying attention, that they would pull out and be like going, okay, Jaybird, what is the square root of 9?
3.
Okay. He actually, for once, was paying attention.
Nailed it.
This world is way too soft. I'm outraged by the outrage. T-shirt idea for sass or salt. I'm outraged by the outrage.
I'm outraged by the outrage.
That's what's so funny because I'll get on the mic and other people are so stupid to get so outraged, but meanwhile I'm doing the same thing, getting outraged by the outrage.
Yeah, that's kind of it. That is today's society. So should Jaybird be outraged or not.
I wasn't outraged. I was annoyed. My move's been very annoying, Kev. It's been a long process. I did a lot of it on my own. So I'm burned out. And I went to go, I found my dad's keys, station wagon. Funny enough, everything I've been losing, I had been putting it away in the right spot, and that's where I find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Progress.
Okay, baby. It's a weird thing to put things back at the right spot.
It's good.
So I by the way, the woman at the HOA, I love her. She's been so awesome and so nice and has helped me out in a great deal. And I know I talk a gang of crap about the HOA. When I do that, I'm talking more about the establishment.
You're talking about the condo commandos. You're talking about the other tenants that walk around and think that they have like all this power just because they sit on the board of the HOA. You're not talking about the girl that works in the office.
She's been awesome.
And same thing at my place. Same exact thing. It's the commandos, the retirees.
So I get in there, and there's been someone that's helping me with trying to find a place that someone else referred this person. So I end up getting this person to help me find a place. It's not gone great for me personally. Mm-hmm. And so I get there, and the nice woman at the HOA says, "Oh yeah, I talked to the person that was helping you, and they said that you were incapable of scanning something and sending it as an email, and that's why some of the problems had happened." Yeah, she said that you're incapable of scanning an email and then sending it off. I was like, what? I am not. First of all, I'm not incapable of scanning an email. I've sent you 3 emails that way, and I was just like, I'm paying you money. Why are you talking out the side of your mouth to somebody else I'm also doing business with? I don't like it.
So should Jay Bird be outraged or not?
He should, because
Okay.
there's also a backstory to this lady.
Well,
But this case in particular, not the backstory, but in this instance, is that statement that she made, is it something that he should be outraged
You have-
on?
Stop saying outrage. I wasn't outraged. It makes me seem like I'm like, oh my gosh. I was annoyed.
So you have sent emails with scanned documents
Yes.
on them
I couldn't
to
get
her
it-
and others.
I couldn't get into the place without doing it.
Well, then she's just a craphead. If I was you, I would call her because this ain't her first infraction.
You know what? Don't call her. Actually scan a document and send it to her with that statement.
Scan a picture of me holding up the middle finger and
So-
email her that.
Okay, so Virginia actually is outraged.
I'm outraged because I know stuff that he won't let me say on the radio that
Well,
this stupid lady did.
Okay, take it easy.
I don't like
It doesn't
her.
have to get like that.
Yes, it does.
I wanted
when
to.
people are uncool, you got to call them out.
Kev, would you be annoyed with that?
I would be like, I would still be curious about the tone, and everything is about the tone, and especially when you pass things on, it would pique my interest, and I would tuck it away. And if it adds to it, then I would be like, hey, and by the way, I can scan a document just for your reference. So, but I wouldn't be,
Oh
too
yeah,
crazy
you wouldn't be
about
like
it.
Virginia, but I like how she's Mama Bear. I like how she's defending
No,
the.
I don't like this chick. She still thinks she can be his real estate agent. She's been sending him listings.
Okay, all
No,
right.
This chick, we're done with you, baby.
See, I knew somebody's going to wind up outraged.
I'm outraged.
Yep,
no,
told you.
You don't treat the bird like this.
Yep, I knew
No.
it was going to happen.
You don't talk bad about him behind his back, and you certainly don't pull some of the shady stuff she did.
So I think what goes on, Virginia doesn't like when other people talk down to me. She can talk down to
Because
me.
it's only her right to do it.
Exactly, because I do it with love. I'm joking around.
We are family. We are able to rip each other apart.
Totally.
So when someone does come up to us at an event and starts ripping on Kevin, me and Virginia get annoyed by that.
I wanted to fight a guy at a volunteer event one time.
I have been in a couple of fights about Kevin.
Yeah, put them in emails or put them on our social media so we can use them in the KVJ hate song.
I almost got into a brawl. Remember when we used to do stuff like Dirty Martini?
Yeah.
I almost got into a fist fight because of Kevin.
Yeah, so
And he couldn't care less.
And I can't fight,
No.
so...
I believe we've got another round of that's going to be coming up here, too. It's fun talking about the outrage culture in the right tone.
Virginia's still mad.
Oh, I know. She's still over here fuming.
Hot, Kev.
She's all upset.
I think she's mad at me because I'm not giving all the details. She wants everything out.
Yeah.
Well, I just want everybody to get a clear picture of this individual. You're protecting them. Don't know why.
It's quite a backstory
Because
here.
I know this is all going to come back to me. I'm going to have to deal with it.
You
I'm
tell her to call me. I'll be happy to discuss her behavior with her.
I'm throwing my phone in the canal today. Don't want to deal with it.
really the only plan. Yeah, that's just it.
That'll work.
I guess we all got to feel like we got to escape, man.
I do.
We gotta get away from all this.
Gotta
Can't
get
happen.
away.
I'm so easily upset today with everything. It's crazy. So, yeah, hey, we do get the comments. Thank you for all of them. Whatever platform it might be, all throughout social media, you can email as well. And when we do get a few choice comments, they do make the KVJ hate song.
Oh, it's that fun time of week.
Oh, wait.
Oh, what's that?
Where is that?
Oh, Denny's.
Denny's.
We can add this to the hate song.
Where is that thing?
Denny's, you know you gotta cue it up.
Do you know who would never let this happen? Producer Heather.
Oh, he did not.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry, we had two things in there labeled hate song. This is the right one.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate us. You hate the KVJ show.
That sucks. That sucks. That stinks.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate us. You hate the KVJ show.
You can tell nobody likes Kevin's boring ass in real life. And the only people who hate him more than his radio audience is his family. Hashtag unlikable douche.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate us. You hate the KVJ show.
I remember when Virginia was sort of entertaining. Now she's an unfunny, washed-up hag. You can tell Kevin and Jason truly hate her, and I don't blame them.
Oh.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate us. You hate the KVJ show.
Jason will never have kids because he's a self-absorbed wannabe entertainer. His music sucks, his joke sucks, and his bodies look like my 80-year-old deceased grandma. Hashtag he's dying alone.
You hate us, you hate us, you
I'd add
hate
that
us. You hate the KVJ show.
My kids and I actually really hate Denny's on air. His jokes are the weakest bit the KVJ show's ever done. Tell that smelly pothead to shut up.
Okay.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate us. You hate the KVJ show.
That sucks.
Yes. Happy birthday to Macklemore. He's turning 36 today. Zoe Saldana is 41 today, and Paula Abdul is turning 57. Straight up. Also got a birthday for Grandma Mary. We love you from Todd, Nelly, Yeager, and Salger.
Grandma.
Grandma!
Also, happy birthday to my amazing husband Bob from your wife Jen and son Dakota. So lucky to have you. Also, we'd like to welcome the Tobschi twins to the world today. Dr. Simon Tobschi and his wife Mel, your crew at Chew Street office. Can't wait to meet the little mamas and the little mans. That's from Jess in Allentown, PA.
Man, our Allentown numbers are very, very good.
Bird, you got a couple more listeners. LOL. Your numbers are going in Allentown.
Told you!
Look at you.
All right.
Allentown.
Yeah. We're going to have to do a live show there one of these days for the 6 people we got there.
I'd love that.
You should sing that at karaoke.
Allentown?
Dedicate it to him.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they'd love it.
Sophia, happy 7th birthday from Mommy, Ian, Jay, and Luna. Jackie had sent that in. Got a birthday you want to get on the KVJ show? You can let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com. Well, Zoe Saldana, who is having a birthday today, is a growing list of celebrities who say no more selfies. Not going to be doing it. For her, I get it. Now, she will not do a selfie if her kids are around her. And, you know, one, she don't want to expose the kids on social media with whoever might be taking the selfie, a fan. But two, she doesn't also want her kids to see that it's okay, in a sense, to take photos with strangers and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, if my kids observe me doing it, then they might do it. And one day somebody, because of who I am and my celebrity status, might try to do something bad and harm my kids.
Got it.
So I get that one. How do you feel about the reasonings for other celebrities? A lot of them are saying, you know, there's a multitude of reasons. Some feel social media culture has become more about bragging rights on Instagram than about sharing a moment. Like, that's kind of Jim Carrey's thing. He says, I don't feel there's a pressing responsibility to please everyone. I'm not unkind to people, but I much prefer saying, hello, who are you? What are you doing today? To giving a selfie, because selfies stop life. It's just going on Instagram to give people a false sense of relevance. And it's the bragging. So he doesn't like doing it and will not give you a selfie for that reason.
He wants it to be deep in Virginia.
Whatever.
I'm kind of with Virginia.
A selfie is a souvenir. A conversation is fleeting, and then poof, it's gone.
I disagree with life. Life doesn't stop when you take a selfie.
No.
It's people of, I mean, especially the younger generation. They love it.
Yeah, Chris Pratt doesn't do it anymore. He says that social media devalues the experience.
Oh, these are just polite ways of telling people, y'all, I don't feel like taking a selfie right now.
I'm bigger than this. I don't have to.
How would they feel then, okay, if you had that meaningful conversation with Jim Carrey and your friend takes the photo of you talking to Jim Carrey and then posts that? Do we have an objection to that now, Jim Carrey?
I'm sure he would.
But that kind of goes against what you're saying, because we're not stopping life. We're still having a meaningful conversation.
I mean, to get a selfie with Jim Carrey, if you're a huge Jim Carrey fan, for that person, that's not
Right.
stopping life. They can't believe that moment just happened.
It's the best moment ever.
It is bragging rights, but what's so wrong about bragging about taking a picture with Jim Carrey?
And it is a moment you can relive. I think there's probably a lot of things in our life that we wish we did have photos or videos of that, oh man, it's poof, it's gone. I'd like
Thank
to
you.
look at that again. And I always am doing that, going through my file and be like, oh man, I just relived that moment. That was so cool. I'm glad I have video of that or a photo of that.
I've heard Bieber use that excuse before too. No pictures, man. It's be in the moment.
Whatever.
The moment.
He's on the list. Yeah, Justin Bieber and Sean Penn, they both say pretty much the same thing. They feel like selfies make them zoo animals.
If you're a celebrity, you kind of are.
I mean,
Sorry.
it doesn't.
Not sorry.
It's not a perfect situation. Nothing in life is. If you are a major celebrity, in a sense, people are going to want to look at you.
Emma Watson, she doesn't do the selfie thing either with fans. She said she doesn't do it because people post it on social media immediately and then everybody knows where she is and what she's doing. Safety and security reasons. Jennifer Lawrence does it for pretty much the same thing, and she said, I'm perfectly fine coming off as rude about it.
Oh, we know you are, J-Law. We've seen it before.
No apologies. Same goes for Amy Schumer, Emily Blunt, Frances McDormand, Amy Poehler, and Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones.
Amy Schumer got into a fight with somebody that wanted to take a selfie with her. She didn't let him, and then it turned into like this weird Twitter thing. She blasted him on Twitter. This was someone who wanted to take a selfie with her.
I mean, come on. People love you, and if they want a selfie with you, what's the big deal?
Well, okay, what about if they're eating dinner? I remember my first radio moment ever, Kev. It was this big hotel we went to. We're in this big lobby. There's a few celebrities there. It was me, Virginia. I think that was that was it. Maybe our producer at the time, Mariana.
Yeah.
And the villain, the bad guy from Roadhouse was there. And I didn't know how to approach celebrities. He's eating dinner. So I go, hey, Virginia, when should I go ask him, to take a picture and get his, do an interview with him? She goes, go do it right now. I go, well, he's eating.
I was drunk, by the way.
Oh, that's shocking.
I go, hey, sir, can I please get a picture and interview with you? When I'm done eating. He yelled at me. When I'm done.
So Virginia gave him bad advice.
Terrible.
Terrible advice.
That's the same time she threw shrimp at our radio competition, too.
Yes. Sounds like a banner night.
I set the scene.
That was my first radio event. I'm like, what is going on here?
A laundry list of bad decisions. So what are those stupid things that we pay for when really we should probably just hold out and get for free? Reddit had a list of things, and some of these things I look at, I'm like going, yeah, okay, I get it. You're right. Technically, you can get it for free, but sometimes there's an inconvenience that goes along with it that you're like going, I'm just going to pay for it.
And sometimes something is free and you get why it's free.
You get what you pay for.
I'm kind of that way, and I can't believe I'm saying this with water. I never thought I would be grossed out by tap water, but drinking as much bottled water as I have since the kidney stuff.
Yeah.
When I drink tap, I'm like, bleh. I can't believe how terrible
It's
it
tough.
tastes.
It's rough. Yeah.
It tastes like I can feel the amoebas.
Yeah. And I'm also kind of weirded out just by some of the spigots that you get it out of, and you're just like, all right.
It gets like sometimes you can get algae or some kind of
Right.
gunk in there. I don't
Because
like
sometimes they're not used a lot. Because everybody else is getting bottled water, so sometimes when you go to a drinking fountain, it's like it hasn't been used for a while.
Why is there white crust on it?
They're done. It gets like that.
What is that white crust? And should we be drinking it?
Dried up amoebas?
Yeah.
I think.
That's why sometimes, if you have the luxury, I mean, unless you are absolutely dying.
Yes.
And you just crawled through a desert?
Well, okay, so the water fountain water, yeah, it's got white crust. But then they say all the bottled water has like bits of plastic in it. So now you're drinking out of this plastic
Yeah,
container and you're
I
drinking.
know.
So what's better, white crust or bits of plastic?
And not every water fountain's created equal. There are some water fountains that are so cold they don't taste like tap water, and then you get some. It tastes like plants.
Yeah, we don't have the water thing right, and water's been around for a while. Well,
yes.
I can't figure out why we seem to be struggling with this concept of how to do our water.
How could we ever like regulate pipes? You don't know if someone's kept up with their pipes that lead to that water fountain. Like, you have no idea.
And then what was that bottled water they were selling here at work? That was, I swear to you, they were bottling toilet water around here. It was the grossest. What was that brand? I want to blast them.
Ass2O.
No. Do you remember?
It's doesn't
Don't
sound
drink it.
appetizing. Might want to rethink their
A little cloudy.
branding, yeah.
What was it, Denny's?
It was Deja Blue.
Oh, Kevin. It tasted like, it did. It tasted like toilet water and just plants and plastic.
Yeah, well, when I think about blue water, there's two things you can think about. Maybe like the ocean's clear blue, but I keep thinking of the toilets that have those mints in it when you flush it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, nah, I'll probably go skip that. Yeah, and then they put it in glass bottles, but it's extremely expensive.
It is. When Rocco was little and I was doing like half breast milk and half formula,
Yeah.
I would only make his formula with water from glass bottles because I was freaked out about the
sure.
plastic thing. And it is like 3 times more expensive for
Yeah.
bottled water in glass.
I'll do well with glass.
Yeah, that's not your thing.
Hamburger hands over here. Like I said.
No one should give you glass, ceramic.
That's why I'm a Dixie Cup man.
Some of the other things they said that why do we pay for it when you get it for free? Books. Just go to the library. I don't know how quickly like libraries do. It's a convenience thing, and then it's the to-do of going there, getting it, coming home, reading it in a certain amount of time, then taking it back. So I think for a lot of people that, you know, like, and you can get books like crazy cheap. I mean, I don't see many books over like $15, $20.
If a book came out today, I doubt the
Paperback.
library's going to have it. You have to wait
Yeah.
4 years before the library
Yeah,
gets it.
I don't know how long before it's going to work.
I don't think it's 4 years.
No, but I don't know. The library doesn't have every book available.
Somebody also put on Reddit things you pay for that can be free: cologne and perfume. There's plenty of places that offer free samples, but I mean the work of going through and getting maybe 1 day per sample, and like you would have to go out like every 2 weeks just to get more. I mean, come on, time is money too.
I agree, but there are places that do offer up good free samples.
And
They do.
if you can find a counter person who's working the fragrance
Yeah.
counter and get a little rapport with them, you can get extra samples. I've walked away with like a little Ziploc bag full of them.
You get
That'll last you a year.
You get 10 samples, you're doing it right.
I agree.
Yeah, so far the things they've listed that you pay for that you could get for free, I'm like, I'm still like, I'm gonna
Okay.
pay all those. Air for your tires.
I thought you had to pay for that.
Yeah, I don't know where they get off on that because I don't know where do you get it for free.
Here's the trick, and I figured this out the other day.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a small mom and pop tire shop because my tire was low.
That's a good name for a place, Mom and Pop Tire Shop.
Mom and pop tire shop.
Mm-hmm.
I went there, not a big place, a small place, and I went in and I said, "Hey, my tire's low. Can you guys put air in it?" And they said, "Absolutely. Pull around the back." I pulled around the back, and they filled up my tire for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the mom and pop places. Don't go to the big dogs.
Exactly. And then, when you go to buy tires, go buy them from that place and develop a rapport.
Yeah, every time I need air in my tires, I just buy new tires.
That's something I would do. I can't figure this out, Kev.
I just got new tires. They say your porn, your adult movies.
I mean, yes, I know someone that still buys DVDs. I'm like, dude, first of all, DVDs.
Yeah, this is completely on the other side. These are the things where I'm like, yeah, I don't get. Like, why
I
would you
don't
even pay
get it
for that
either,
kind of
man.
stuff now?
I don't get it. There are guys that still buy magazines.
I say exercise. Yeah, you can do that for free. Absolutely. I think it just really kind of depends upon your level. I think sometimes people pay for the convenience and also for the motivation.
Sure.
That's the two things that you pay for.
But you could get it for free, though, if you really
You could.
wanted to.
You could just
Yeah.
go outside and run
Yeah.
and try to self-motivate.
You
but
could do you could do a heck of a workout just sitting in the studio or in whatever room you're in. You can.
You can. Is it worth
How
it,
many
though?
people are that motivated and disciplined and knowledgeable to do it? They say the internet, you can get that for free. Just go to like a Panera or Starbucks or someplace that's got it for free.
Yeah, there's this one guy, the Panera that I go to, I swear to you, he is there from open to close. He sits there, he reads this big Bible and just highlights stuff, and then just talks to everyone around. And
That's creepy.
He just doesn't leave. I see, every time I go there, he is there, just on the computer reading the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, getting it for free.
Maybe he's
Every
a theology
time.
student.
There's not been one time. In fact, if I went to Panera right now, I know that cat would be there. I would bet my face on it.
Okay. What's he do for a living?
Me and my dad have talked about this cat's backstory. Like, what is he doing?
Is he a disciple?
I don't know.
Or you could,
And I never see him eat anything. I see him just there, kind of with a cup.
I don't think Panera makes you eat something. I think you can just sit there and just hang out.
You ask me, what does he do for a living? I would love to know that guy's backstory.
Yeah, I always see those people out in public too. Be like, what is your deal?
Got a beautiful Bob Vila beard. Kind of like Jesus.
Maybe he is a disciple.
No.
I don't know. Maybe he's one that we didn't have accounted for yet. He's still around. Things you pay for, you could get for free. Reddit says coffee. You can get it free in most businesses. Yeah, but how good is it? And are you going to get all the little fixins that you like?
Yeah, that's a tricky one, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Virginia and Denny's, they make a real sexy cup of coffee.
Well, we believe in the Nespresso.
Oh, did you bring that cream?
I've got it.
Let's take a ride on some Cuban coffee. Sorry, Kev, it's going to get real awful for you.
Don't worry. We're only
6
going to give
cups?
him one.
Yeah, good luck.
You have a 1-cup limit.
Oh, don't no, we'll talk.
He's not down for that.
I'm not down for that.
He likes 16 ounces of that stuff.
Yeah, and then he does this thing where he starts going, and his skin is crawling.
I'll time it out to where I start going after the show. If I drink it now, I won't get until 10.
Okay. And also, sweet lovin'. People are paying, can get it for free. But
Not everybody can.
you're right. That's why, again, Reddit, I'm not so sure. Don't know if their list is on point or not.
Yeah, they're off with a few of those.
Somebody said, Kev, you can actually get books from the library online with apps. Libby, Cloud Library, overdue. New books come out pretty fast, ebook or audio. So there you go.
So I am wrong.
I think the library is awesome. I know you don't love the library. I love it.
No, it's not that I don't love the library. I didn't think they'd get new books in so quick, but the library sounds like they're up to date. I haven't been in a library in a while, so.
Somebody said at Wawa, the air is free there.
Wow.
Wawa, man, whoever does their promotions, they do it right. So much positive comes out of every story I hear about Wawa is a good story.
Free air at Wawa? That's real?
And some of the newer Cumberland Farms people were saying. So there you go. And multiple people had said that about Wawa. That's good to know.
Does Cumberland Farms still have Chili Willies available? You guys remember Chili Willies?
The DJ in town?
No, it's this icy thing. Fat Kevin knows what I'm talking about.
Chili Willy. I know Slush Puppy.
It's a slush puppy. It was their version of it.
Okay. Somebody said gas stations have to offer free air. You just have to go ask for it. Most people don't realize this.
Tell that to the places that all have a coin thing attached to it.
Yeah, what are they going to do then? Give you coins to be like, oh, yeah, sure, here, go ahead.
The other thing, too, I heard in Florida, if you got a bad windshield on your car, you get a free one.
Yeah, they fix it.
That's real.
If it's cracked or if
Yeah.
it's impairing your ability to see the roadway,
So it's sort of impaired. It's not cracked. Will you help me crack it?
you don't have to crack it. It can be just chipped. Same thing.
All right.
They'll come out and do it because a chip turns into a crack and they don't want you to crack.
Okay. there you
Okay.
go. Some good, valuable information.
It's a bit impaired, but I don't know if it's cracked level. We might have to crack it.
No, don't crack it. They can fix a chip
Well, we'll
easier.
chip it then. We have to chip it.
It's not chipped?
It's what had happened was I never put windshield wipers on, and it kind of permanently gave scratches on my window, so it looks like there's butter on my window.
Wait, what?
And you can't get it out. You can't. No, everyone and their mothers try to get these scratch. You can't get it out.
Did you put the wipers on with no wiper blades?
I don't
and it
talk about.
scratched up the windshield.
It didn't go down exactly like that.
But it's not far off, is that what you're saying?
It's a version of the truth.
Okay, that would count as
Oh,
impairing
man.
your vision.
Okay, baby.
Anything that impairs your vision, you can get it fixed for free.
Loving it.
Somebody wanted to point out, too, it's only if you've got full coverage insurance because not full coverage insurance is going to cost you about $200 for that window.
I've never had not full coverage.
Yeah, I have full coverage.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you're good. But yeah, just kind of a point for anybody out
Okay.
there who doesn't have coverage and just smashed their windshield.
Jaybird said I could do it.
Jaybird said we gotta crack it.
Yeah.
No, just chip it.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody said, Jaybird, you've been telling us this story for like a year now about your windshield, and you still haven't replaced the windshield wiper plates. Is this the same story?
Yes. This man has not done anything to fix it in a year.
Oh,
Again,
man.
it's been a weird year, man.
Yeah, weird. It's been a weird life.
It has been.
Let's just go with that.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Okay, got a couple options here for you, and would you rather? Would you rather relive the same day for 365 days or lose a year of your life? This is kind of the whole Groundhog Day story we were talking about with the movie, and they've estimated about 10 years he was reliving the same day over and over again. So would you rather relive the same day for 365 days or lose a year of your life? What is the better option?
I mean, I certainly don't want to have the same day over and over again, but I think the worst out of those two, especially if you have little kids, is losing a year.
But what if you have that great day where during the day is just popping?
It pops every day.
Well, I think it changes. I mean, you're looking at Groundhog Day. Every single day changed for him. You know,
Yeah,
he was
I
doing
picked-
different things every day.
No, but
I picked live the same day.
But it did. The situations didn't change though. Everywhere he.
Everyone else kind of doing the same things, but what he was doing amongst them changed.
I think it might be kind of fun. I think for the first few weeks it'd be fun, and then it would be like, oh my gosh. But I mean, I don't want to lose a year.
I don't want to lose a year either. Yeah, give me the same day.
I'm that way too. I mean, I look
Yeah.
at the benefits of what he had. First of all, I like where I am. You know, it frees everybody's age. We're all good. I'm having a good time every single day. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, let me kind of keep reliving it and continue to work on yourself and develop new skills. And then, boom, you pop into the next day and, hey, what do you know? I can speak Spanish.
Imagine if this is a year and a half ago. You wouldn't have new hair. You'd be stuck with no new hair, and that would be your life.
I'm starting today, baby, and I got hair, so let's keep rolling it.
That's what I'm saying. There's a good time to do it right now.
Yeah.
I'm in. I love it.
Yeah. And the other question, too, though, lose a year of your life. What year is it? Is it a valuable year, or is it like the year
It's
where
like next year.
I was basically bedridden and drooling on myself? So which year do I lose? Like, I'd be okay losing that year, too.
I'm okay losing that year.
So that's the one thing. It doesn't qualify what that is. But yeah, for me, I think it's an easy one. You relive the same day for 365 days. Okay, would you rather be covered in fur or covered in scales?
Fur.
Wrong. Scales. You're in South Florida. Oh my gosh, be covered in fur today? Be stuck outside?
I don't want to be a fish.
Now I want fur. I think,
think
be
fur.
great
I
in
can
the
make
water.
I can make fur sexy. I think fish. Is it sexy?
You're going to smell moldy. You're going to get caught in these thunderstorms we got here in the summertime. Scales, the water's just going to run right off of me.
I would lather my body up with some Pert Plus, and I would smell amazing. And I think fur would be fun
lot
to
of
lick.
maintenance. Lot of maintenance. Plus bugs can get in there. Oh, you're going to be musty and dank.
Scales are going to be hard to make sexy.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, you take scales.
I am
then.
big time.
Fur is way more fun to lick.
He knows. He loves to lick his dog.
Stop it. Don't
Licks his dog, then licks his fish. Licks his dog, licks his fish.
don't sexualize my dog.
Would you rather be constantly tired no matter how much you sleep or constantly hungry no matter how much you eat?
Hungry. Definitely.
Okay.
Tired, I start to get hallucinogenic on you.
Hallucinogenic.
I start to get a little like, woo, wacky.
Yeah, I get really weird when I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
You're always tired.
But I also kind of get weird when I'm hungry.
I think it depends. Yeah, how do you react? Some people are really bad tired. Some people are really bad hungry. So how do you react worse? I'm worse when I'm tired. So for me, yeah, I'll take the hunger. I can cover that up better than I can if I'm really tired.
Absolutely.
I can't do the tired.
Hunger sometimes, I don't know. When I'm full, I feel tired. When I'm hungry, I have energy still. I'm not weighted down with this big meal I just ate. Hunger doesn't slow me down.
Yeah, it's good. In fact, it might speed you up, you could argue.
I'm lighter.
Yeah. Would you rather know the history of every object you touched or be able to talk to animals?
Oh,
Yeah, talk to animals.
talk to animals. I don't give a crap about these paper towels over here.
Oh,
We
but you're maybe
know.
not touching the right things.
I mean, I would touch some things.
No, I would like to know the history of every object that I touch.
Oh, you love history.
I love
though.
history, but I mean, I can just imagine going to certain places and be like, whoa, and they probably don't even realize. Be like, there's no sign on this, and they don't even realize that this is the rock that so-and-so did what on.
It would have totally changed your Jerusalem trip.
Oh, it'd have been a big time. Yeah, there's no debate if you're
you
in
might have
Israel.
not come back.
I probably wouldn't have. I'd still be touching things.
Oh, the conversations me and my dog Chewy would have, we'd be up all night just talking just about the weirdest thing. I know that dog has got some weird thoughts.
You do, huh?
Oh yeah. Not like that. Stop it. Don't sexualize my dog.
He might get real with you. First thing, we got to talk about you being naked in front of me all the time.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's the first thing I got to bring up.
Chewy's totally cool with my nakedness.
He is, huh? You know that? He said that?
Oh, he loves me.
He does?
Oh, he'll come up and licks my leg. Again.
That's not your leg.
Don't. All right, move on.
So are you licking your dog or is your dog licking you more often?
My dog licks me.
Okay, all right. Who licks who more?
I do not lick my dog.
All right. Just want to clarify that.
I don't know. Instagram stories say different.
Oh, because my head is near his pelvic bone. That's why.
Final one here. Would you rather have everything you draw become real, but be terrible at drawing, or be able to fly, but only as fast as you can walk? So can you imagine just hovering like on a sidewalk? You're talking to your buddy, yeah, so anyway, and you're just kind of flying along and he's just walking. Yeah, did you watch the game last night? Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? By the way, it's kind of weird. Can you just walk instead of fly? So what do you think?
Which one could I turn into a cash grab?
Okay, everything you draw becomes real.
That right there.
That's a cash
But
grab.
you're terrible at drawing. So you could draw a rocket ship, but it's going to look like a terrible rocket ship.
It's going to look like a penis.
But it become real. Well, a lot of them do anyway, so.
I'm going to take that one.
Yeah, me too. You
Yeah.
can turn that into cash money.
Because if you're, even if you went to a higher altitude, which by the way, you can't go super high being a human and not encapsulated because of, oxygen and temperature.
Are you mansplaining space?
Air travel.
Well,
yeah.
you're not that bright, so I think he's just explaining it to you.
So going slow, you're not going to cover a lot of ground anyway.
Yeah.
And you're always going to be flying alone because
It's
nobody else has the
unimpressive.
power.
It's unimpressive.
Because you could draw a horrible looking rocket ship for two and you could fly the whole family or your girlfriend or whatever.
Question: if I drew pizza, could I eat it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This is
It'd be
easy.
sloppy, but you could eat it.
You could save everyone who's hungry. You could end hunger.
Look at you.
Okay. It's that one.
There you go. All right. Couple of thoughts on this and your choices. Mystique from X-Men has scales. She's hella sexy. So some people are saying that the scales might be a little bit sexier.
Think about a female Bigfoot. Chewbacca. A female Chewbacca? You mean to tell me you wouldn't like a round or two?
It's very hairy. I don't know. Hygiene's going to be tougher. Yeah. Is that what it is? Okay. Got any thoughts that you want to throw in the mix? 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. If you've been listening to the show the last couple of days, you realize that Virginia has got a little bit of an issue on her hands with Rocco. She's been telling the stories about how Rocco's been having some outbursts in his behavior. He's 3 years old, and he is pretty proficient with profanity.
Yes, we heard that on Sunday.
Magnolia, I know his older sister was having some issues with him and his behavior and was even lashing out at some of her friends.
Everybody in the house has been, he gets a little violent. If he doesn't get his way, he goes like, "Arr!" and he like hits you, and you're like, whoa, dude, where's this coming from? Like, it's a really new thing.
Hey, you guys don't hit, right?
No, and we don't curse at him. Like,
Do you curse?
we curse, but we don't curse at him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we have to stop cursing.
Does he see you cursing at other people in that way?
Probably.
Okay.
All right.
Probably. Okay, so Virginia sat down just to kind of do a one-on-one. This is kind of like a little intervention/interview with Virginia and Magnolia and baby Rocco, just to say, hey, are you aware of your behavior and the language that you're using and that this is inappropriate? and how you're lashing out and the way you're talking.
We have audio of this?
Yes, we do.
yeah.
Oh, this is like Dr. Phil stuff.
It is.
We got deep.
Yeah, this is kind of a family intervention. We all get to listen in. So is Rocco aware of it? Well, Virginia's son, Rocco, he's 3. He's had a tough week. He's lashed out a couple times, used some bad language in public, inappropriate places, little tantrums he's been throwing, which, will happen with kids around this age. What is a little bit more unique is some of the language has been used and the reaction that people have to that language.
Can I tell the story about in Miami when he dropped about 4 in a row, and there was this guy eating his sandwich. I think he was a doctor. He was in these OR scrubs, and he looked very, very important. And he's getting ready to take a bite of his sandwich, and he hears Rocco drop about 4 F-bombs. And just like in a movie, he pauses with taking a bite, looks over, he locks eyes with me, and then he acts like he doesn't see anything and starts to eat his food.
He's just like, wait, what?
What?
What did I just hear?
What is that kid saying?
What is going on here? So, Virginia, what has been the approach so far with how you have handled Rocco in this past week? I know that there's some confusion and concern and frustration.
The past week has been like just chaos because we're like so thrown for a loop. This kid was like super sweet 2 weeks ago, and he just like flipped on us. And when he doesn't get his way, he lashes out now, and he'll say like, at Home Goods, he yelled "F you" to me in front of people, and I was just like, okay, I'm beside myself now. So we took away all of his sweets and all of his treats.
Everything?
All of his sweets and treats. He's on sweets restriction till Saturday. He knows he can't have candy, cookie, cake, soda, nothing. No, he's completely on restriction.
That's going to feel the pain. I mean, if you love sweets.
Okay.
And he understands why. He really does get it.
Okay.
But then yesterday, he was cursing at his sister again.
Uh-oh.
So we took all of his electronics.
Okay.
So
And no one's given him any electronics whatsoever?
not yesterday. He did
Okay.
not have anybody's phone, no iPads, no nothing.
How long is that punishment for?
That's just for one day. He
Okay.
was no electronics. I told him he could have his electronics back today if he didn't curse. But as soon as he curses at his sister or anybody, then he gets them taken away again.
Okay, so it's kind of a day by day. You get him grace back to you, but any step in the wrong direction, then boom, gone again.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we just want to see basically where Rocco's perception is of this. Is he really aware of what he's doing and that, hey, you really can't use that kind of language and you really should not be lashing out in this way? And what is his take on this? So Virginia sat down, Dr. Phil style, with her daughter Magnolia, who's been watching Rocco as well, and Rocco himself to get his take on this.
Does anybody actually talk like Dr. Phil?
Nobody graced us with that. Here's Rocco's reaction to when they sat down and had this intervention.
Okay, so in our family, we've been struggling a little bit with Rocco's outbursts. I'm here with Magnolia and Rocco. Hello, Mags.
Hello.
Hello, Rocco.
Hello.
So we're trying to get to the heart of what's been going on here. Rocco, do you acknowledge that you've been particularly violent and outbursty this past week?
Towards me, Mommy, and my friends?
No.
Okay.
So that didn't start off that great.
Not acknowledging it.
Not acknowledging it.
Okay.
So you're denying the charges.
Yes.
What do you think has been going on with Rocco?
I think you've been doing great.
Okay.
You think you're doing great?
Yeah.
So I know I don't have kids, but I don't know if he's getting it.
I don't know if he's getting it.
Is it possible that this punishment is too fun-like? It's an interview. It's for recording. There's not the tone of, oh, crap, Mom's upset. I better get my act together. Could that be it possibly?
Anything's possible.
Mags, what do you think has been going on with Rocco?
I completely disagree with that statement. 100%. He's mean. He's violent. He's aggressive towards anyone who tries to do anything that Rocco does not think is good or okay.
Do you think, Rocco, that you don't have to listen to grown-ups?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
boy.
the defendant is
Yeah, he's...
standing his ground.
Oh,
Yeah.
it gets worse.
You think you're the boss?
Yes.
You know, When you hurt your sister or me,
Or my friends.
yeah, you kicked Chloe. How do you feel about the allegations that you've hit everyone in the family?
I don't care.
Oh boy.
You're too soft on this kid right now. It's too fun and games. It is.
You don't
You're
care?
mean.
That's so mean. I thought you loved us.
No, I don't.
Oh boy.
It gets worse.
You don't love us?
We're heartbroken. Is there anything else you want to say to your fans? I mean,
He doesn't got any anymore because of all these statements that he's made.
that your fans are definitely dwindling.
Unfollowing.
They're unfollowing you, bruh. What do you have to say?
I don't love you all.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Do you love Uncle Jaybird?
No, no one.
Oh wow. He's
I know he doesn't mean that.
Not even Kevin Ralston?
No, no one.
What about Daddy?
No one.
You don't love Daddy?
No, no one.
All
Do you
right.
love me?
No.
There you go, folks. Rocco has taken a turn, an evil, dark turn.
Oh, yeah. Crank it up, dude.
What did he say? Crank it up, dude?
Crank it up, dude.
Oh my god.
Now, is this one of those things where do you want our opinions, or should we just listen and not say anything, or
No, I need your help. 'Cause
Wow.
He's flipped on us.
it's too goofy? This is too fun. He knows this is fun. This is recording. It's a game. You guys are laughing. There's not one shred of seriousness to where he thinks he's in trouble, and he's going to continue to do this if you record him and act like it's all fun and game. By saying he's got fans,
anger.
fans don't say he's got fans because he's like, yeah, I got fans. You're building his ego up so much. That's my opinion.
I believe he's been overcome by the dark side.
Are you mad at my opinion?
No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I think it's too fun and games right now.
Yeah.
If you're legit upset about how he's treating you, you gotta put on a serious face.
Yeah.
That my mom was goofy too, and as soon as she turned off that goofy little thing she did, and she do this thing with her lip, and I knew I was in serious trouble. Her lip would curl, and everything changed, and I had to be afraid of her for me to change. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you have to be a jerk.
Well, I was a complete jerk in the Home Goods parking lot. I mean, I was wrath. I was anger. He got spanked.
But that was like 3 days ago, though.
Well, and I think, too, sometimes it's maybe like a controlled disciplinary tone that doesn't, peak and have, ebbs and valleys. It's consistent. Like, I could see probably what would happen in my world with my mom is I would wake up every single day almost like I was in jail, and I would have a list of chores. My entire day would be things that I do not want to do. And I could slowly go on that path of redemption to get a little bit of fun back in my life, but any sidestep, I'd be right back to it. I mean, it would be like a prison that I would be living in, and there would be zero tolerance for any of the bad behavior that I had shown.
My whole thing is I don't want Rocco to be sad, but he's not learning the lesson, and taking his electronics away for a half of a day ain't gonna cut it. It's just not. He's got to feel like he's done something wrong.
As he wakes up in the morning, it's like the sun didn't rise today. My son, yes, you are in a different place. Your world is not going to be enjoyable until you knock off all this behavior. There is a zero tolerance policy.
And I would, during discipline, I would not be bringing up the fact that he's got fans and what are you going to say to your fans? I get that that's kind of trying to be fun and goofy. Maybe now's the time not to be fun and goofy. That's coming from Goofy Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
But I'm only saying that not to piss you off and not to get involved, but because
none of this is going to piss me off. I'm actually like frustrated and desperate.
And I think he sees that he is getting what he wants. He's pushing emotional buttons and, saying, I don't like you, I don't like this, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a defiant attitude that, he's like the wild stallion Flicka, Virginia. I believe his spirit needs to be broken a bit.
Sometimes the human spirit needs to be a little scared. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And sometimes, when you get a little embarrassed, you learn. You learn. I mean, again, I don't want this to happen, but sometimes you got to be knocked down a peg to go, oh, I can't do that again because that really embarrassed me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
In a way to where you don't traumatize the kid.
Sure.
Yeah.
it's just so tricky because his sister was the easiest child. She never spoke like this, ever.
Well, and I think, I've told my kids a lot that, we give you lots of rope to run. And they've been very good and they've stayed within the boundaries of the yard. But if you step outside the yard, then yes, the rope will tighten up and you will come in a lot tighter. So your own good behavior reflects the freedoms that you have.
We had a baseball coach that halfway through got fired during the season. I mean, the entire team just ran roughshod over this guy. I mean, the kids were running the team, not the guy. He got booted out, and then a hard ass came in, and all these little guys that were talking all this crap, he made them run, or they kick him off the team, and that fear made people fall in line. It's something you don't want to use all the time, but if it's at this point where, F you, Mom, I don't love you, it might be time to bring the big guns in.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Brandon has got a comment here from Jupiter. Yes, what do you want to say, Brandon?
I just wanted to comment on Virginia and their lack of parenting skills. She said she didn't hit. She said she didn't hit, but then she just admitted she smacked a kid in the parking lot.
No, he did. He got a spanking in the parking lot after the Home Goods FU
correct.
thing.
Correct. But you said earlier in the story that, no, we don't hit.
We usually do not hit him, and he never, ever gets hit. That's why it was so, earth-shattering for all of us, because he doesn't get hit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit missing from this story, because the swearing, too, where do you think he's going to learn it from if he hears it all day long?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
you know
So are you trying to help Virginia, or just trying to make her feel bad? I'm not sure, sir.
We have cursed.
I'm commenting. That's all I said. I'm making a comment on it.
We don't curse at each other like that,
or
though.
negatively is on her.
We don't curse at each other like that, and I think it's just a level of disrespect that I'm struggling with, because nobody speaks to each other in our house like that. We have a very loving house that's kind to each other.
Do you think that maybe everybody, parents included, should stop with the language, maybe do a curse can, that kind of thing, to say, okay, we're going to make a whole, this is all we're rallying the wagons and we're going to stop this whole thing?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
we do curse. We have cursed, but we don't curse at each other. We don't come at each other with this negativity. Rocco is the only one in the family that would ever speak or hurt anybody's feelings like this.
So the positive thing, honestly, I think this is such a fixable situation. I think a few minor adjustments, everything's going to be fine. Things like the curse can, things like no rock, just retrain. I think we can get this thing right back on track. It's not the end of the world, but I think an adjustment needs to be made. And Dr. Filthy has spoken.
That's right. All right. Any other comments? You can always get through to us, 877-979 WRMF.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Oh, yeah. Woo-hee. Got some hot stuff here today in your whacked out news. Even an update, too. You remember that woman in Miami that police arrested for felony charges because she was able to stuff a lot of expensive watches in her lady parts?
Yes.
I believe we actually reenacted that, too.
We did?
Yeah, we did. Because I remember these splatting noises. It was being released. Remember that? Apparently not.
I don't remember that. Was that on your sports show?
No, not my sports show then.
Wait,
anybody else remember that? Or did
we
I just make that up?
reenacted her putting watches. We did?
Yeah, we did a Whacked Out
reenacted
News
it?
Theater.
Okay.
Yeah, Whacked Out News Theater. Yeah,
Hey,
everybody's like, yeah, we did.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen, and doesn't mean we didn't love it, baby.
Did we really do it?
Oh, the other room's saying we did too. Yeah,
But they're not alcoholics, Kevin.
Well, that's why we would believe them, right?
Yeah, we believe them.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, don't believe me in the witch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just to let you know, an update on that story. The charges were completely dropped.
What?
And the story did not contain why, but yeah, I don't know how she was exonerated, but
She probably returned the watches, and the guy didn't want the heat because then his name would be public if there's a whole thing.
they were expensive watches, so yeah, he probably does have something that he needed. Yeah, he's like, you know what? Can we just make this whole thing go away?
Well, when you bring those to the jewelry cleaner, don't say where they were.
Yeah.
Do you still wear them?
No, not until they've been thoroughly cleaned.
Okay, so you would wear it. If it was like a Tiffany watch or something?
Absolutely, I would wear it again.
Okay.
But it's going to the jewelry cleaner. They have this like thing. They put it in. They lower it on this basket into this solution. It's got to go through a few levels of clean.
Oh. Okay.
It's like a dishwasher for your jewelry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want that back. Well, there is a man that is suing the town of Redington Beach, Florida, because apparently people won't stop having sex on his private beach right in front of his house.
Showing off their privates on his private beach?
Why doesn't he like make it less sexy? It must be like perfect and dark and secluded and
I don't know. This is Florida, Virginia. Sometimes people are just like, hey, we've been drinking on the beach. Let's get it going. The man said that beachgoers are playing loud music. They're drinking, smoking, using drugs, having sex, and even defecating in the sand right out front of his house.
In that order?
And apparently he's gotten through to him because there's a new law beginning on July 1st that won't allow people to have any access to private beachfronts there in Redington Beach because of the bad behavior.
okay, like even during the day, people can't go to the public beach?
It's private beach.
It's private beach.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is quite a fascinating story here. Cops in Alabama have raided 2 drug dealers' places on Monday, and they found one of them had a pet attack squirrel, and apparently he was able to keep it aggressive by feeding it meth.
Oh, I saw this story.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is because I have seen some of the squirrels around my parts, and they are already aggressive. I couldn't imagine them on meth.
I know, right?
I'm dodging a crazy squirrel right now.
It's so out of the ordinary, you know, it's kind of incredulous when you first see it. You know, you're like, somebody's got a squirrel, supposedly that's an attack squirrel, and supposedly he's feeding it meth to keep it aggressive. That's something in 18 years of law enforcement I've never seen. It's highly unusual.
I mean, meth squirrels are horrifying.
Attacks.
But talk about not seeing it coming and not able to defend yourself.
How horrifying is that? That thing latches on your face.
I feel bad for the squirrel because that's squirrel abuse.
It is, but that's a badass squirrel, though.
But here's part of the problem. They just released the squirrel back into the wild. Can you imagine the other squirrels and this thing comes around? Hey, what's wrong with Ricky?
I heard he was reformed. I don't know, man.
Did they send him to rehab?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we need have that out in the woods.
We need some counseling for this squirrel.
Did they put him on that methadone?
Wow. Well, that's something, huh?
I need more of that story, by the way. There's got to be more details.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, the cops in Nebraska got a call on Saturday about a guy that was walking towards an Arby's. And apparently he was enjoying himself in his trip there because he had something in his hand and it wasn't an Arby's sandwich because he hadn't gotten there yet. Yeah.
Just walking down the street.
He had the meats.
Tugging it?
Yes.
For some reason, I'm not in the mood for a beef and cheddar.
Yeah, no. They caught him inside the Arby's. He'd actually gotten in there and arrested him for public indecency. I don't know if he'd finished his task. They just seen him there walking, but yeah, he was arrested. There's a guy in England who robbed a bank by pretending a banana was a gun. He's just gotten 14 months in prison for being an idiot. There's another woman in Oklahoma who set her neighbor's house on fire after a long feud last week, and she was caught doing it by her own security cameras.
Oh yeah, you hear it. Oh, I didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what?
I was in the house and I saw smoke, but I was like, okay, maybe everything's okay. They'll put it out or whatever. There's been drug addicts living there, running in and out.
Things start adding up, being suspicious. We knew that there was a neighbor that did an interview, and that person who was seen on the surveillance footage, by looking at both of them, it does appear that that is the same person. We understand the neighborhood dispute, but you definitely don't resort to fire as a means of conflict resolution.
Yeah, you don't. Fire's not a way to solve your bickering.
Yeah, I don't know what's more alarming, the meth squirrel or the neighbor setting your house on fire.
She was arrested for arson, of course.
How long do you go to jail for that? That's attempted murder, right?
Yeah, they might throw that in there with the charge of arson. Well, this kind of is a story that we'll often see around October. It kind of throws people off when this happens in June. These realistic-looking Halloween decorations that people think are actually a murder or homicide and a body. This is what threw it off because this woman in Canada bought a realistic-looking Halloween skeleton for $2 at a garage sale and left it in her car. And somebody's like, oh my gosh, somebody's dead in that vehicle. They call 911 and they show up and realize that it's not a real dead body. So there you go. And this is alarming as well. If you're in Holmes Beach, Florida, they are apparently looking for the owner of a lost ear. It was found on the Manatee Public Beach. Now, the good news is it's a prosthetic ear.
Okay.
Apparently, it washed right off of somebody's head.
Okay, someone's dead, y'all. That's part of a dead body.
No, it's a prosthetic ear.
You don't think it's so? You don't think someone's gonna... You still can be a murdered victim. Fall off during the murder.
It's possible.
I think it probably just fell off when a wave hit it.
Oh.
Yeah, those waves will take off. If you got any kind of appendages, I mean, my gosh.
They'll work you over and you have everything attached.
Right. You just, you go out into the water and all of a
I've
sudden...
lost sunglasses.
Arms, limbs, everything
So you're
else.
going waves, I'm going murder?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it was murder.
Yeah, the police department there posted a photo on their Facebook page and captioned it, "Have you lost an ear?" Okay. Interesting. Boy, I tell you, I talk about that Xfinity Xfi app. It's so great. You can pause your Wi-Fi when your kid's playing a little too much Fortnite. This family in Thailand has a bit of a different problem, though. Yeah, they may have the Xfi app, but their 29-year-old doesn't take kindly when you pause his Wi-Fi router to get him to stop playing his games. They actually caught him trying to poison the family's water supply.
Oh, my God.
Because they shut off his Wi-Fi to get him to stop playing video games.
That is horrifying.
Yeah, it might be time for the 29-year-old to move.
Yeah, you're out of here.
Yeah. Interesting story here from Phil Mickelson. Once talking about something that he found at the 6th hole at the Memorial Tournament in 2006 when he went to retrieve a ball from a cup.
My first story took place during the Memorial Tournament back in 2006 or so. Our second round was interrupted by weather and darkness, and we had to reconvene the next morning at around 7 in the morning. I'm on the 6th hole, and the tour official is cutting a new hole, but we haven't finished our round yet. We have to play to the same hole location. So I raise my hand and say, "Hey, we're not done." So finally I walk right up close to the edge green, just on the other side of a lake, and I said, "We're not done." He stands up in disgust and puts his hands on his hips and says, "Someone took a dump in the cup."
Wow. That's not something you see every day in a classic golf tournament.
I guess we are done with that hole.
Oh, my gosh.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
Okay, what would you say that each county is best known for here in South Florida? And if you had to give out county superlatives in South Florida, how would you answer this? Like, for instance, which South Florida county has the most stuff to do? Is that Miami-Dade?
I don't know, because there's a lot of wide open spaces in Dade where it's just a bunch of houses and stuff, where there's not much out there.
I would say still Miami-Dade because the beaches, hotels, restaurants, nightclubs, American Airlines Arena.
Festivals, fun stuff.
Yeah, now breweries, Wynwood. That would be my guess. Because you have probably the most tourists going to Miami-Dade.
And it's the most populous.
Right.
So
they have a lot of things and they can put more stuff out there.
Yeah.
No, I think you guys are wrong.
Which county do you think it is and why?
I would go with Broward County. It's a little bit bigger than Palm Beach County, and I think there's more to do out there. I think Dade County, you've got the South Beach and all that stuff that makes people think it's like all of Miami's like that, and it's not. And I think you guys are blinded by Sobe again.
I'd say actually for a lot of people, I think Sobe might be one of the last things that you might check out, or at least maybe not necessarily number one. I think Wynwood is really starting to get a lot of people around in there, and plus there's so much stuff happening in the arena. I get what you're saying. Probably Broward is 2, and then Palm Beach is 3.
Yeah.
That's how I'd rank it out.
Just check out some of the comments. Wow, Kevin in Virginia, very wrong today about all this. Listen to the native Floridian.
Yeah,
okay.
he is a native. Okay, which county in South Florida has the nicest people?
Out of the 3 counties?
And you can even throw in, South Florida. And what do we have a special? Is there maybe everybody's definition is different. For me, I think South Florida, maybe Port St. Lucie down sometimes I think about that being South Florida. But, yeah, you're right. Maybe you would say it's just Palm Beach County down is technically South Florida. What is the definition of South Florida?
I want the pistol to be South Florida, but I don't know if they are. They're too far north, aren't for South Florida?
And the reason why I might not is just, there's just different feels in each county. That's why I love South Florida, is that you can go from one county to the next and it feels radically different. And there is a radically different feel from like a St. Lucie County and a Miami-Dade County. But there's a radically different feel between a Palm Beach and a Miami-Dade. And
I personally feel like people in Port St. Lucie area, I feel like they're nicer than people from Palm Beach County.
If we threw in St. Lucie County, them and Martin might win.
I think they're more down to earth.
I think Martin's going to win.
For that?
If they qualify. Now, if you're only doing the 3 counties, which of the 3 wins out between Palm Beach, Broward, Dade? Who has the nicest people in there?
Well, I can tell you, you can throw Martin County in there, but Tequesta really knocks it down of nice people.
You got Tequesta in the north, you got Boca in the south.
Only half of Tequesta is Martin County.
Okay.
I'd say probably Broward out of the 3.
The snobby half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're going Broward.
Okay, so then on the flip side, which county has the meanest people?
Miami-Dade.
You think so?
I think so.
Or could Palm Beach argue
I think Palm Beach can definitely hold.
Boca doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt the case because Boca does have a lot of mean people.
But there's some snobby people in West Palm too, man, that think they're Boca and they think, yes, I've drove to South Beach a couple times. I've got that attitude. No, I'm gonna go. I think Palm Beach County.
You might get the most aggressive drivers in Miami-Dade. Maybe that goes.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So that might give the impression that the meanest people are there. That's up for debate.
You guys are going Dade?
I think I am. Yeah.
I think just because it's fresh from my own experiences. Like I said, I was complaining that one day I was walking through a parking lot in Boca and got honked at aggressively 3 times, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, the worst people in the world are here.
So Boca's really bringing it down for you.
It's my own. A lot of his own personal experiences. I would argue that I've been in Miami-Dade. I've not in one parking lot got honked at aggressively 3 times by the time I got to my car, and I was just walking. Okay, so who has the hottest people? It's got to be Miami-Dade.
Yeah, I think so.
Again, though, are you guys blinded by Sobe and all that stuff?
No, I'm picking it because of Sobe, because you have models and whatnot. There's a lot more opportunity for that, so they're going to naturally have the hottest people there for that reason.
Okay, I like your argument.
Mm-hmm. Okay, best restaurants. This is a good debate. Which county in South Florida has the best restaurants?
Oh, that's tough because we don't have as much experience in Miami-Dade and Broward as we do in Palm Beach County. I think Palm Beach County has awesome restaurants.
All I know is when I lived in Broward County, there were sub shops galore, mom and pop sub shops everywhere. I don't know if I see that kind of same love in Palm Beach County. Oh, we got some sub shops, don't get me wrong.
All you care about is subs?
It's not all I care about. I care about pizza.
Yeah, he's got 2 things on the list. That's a pretty good debate. I don't know if anybody's ever ranked that. Miami-Dade might be slightly in first, and then I would probably put Palm Beach second, Broward third.
Interesting.
I think that would be my ranking because I think that the quality of restaurants, because you've got West Palm, Delray, Boca, the 3, and then Broward, you're going to have Fort Lauderdale is going to be where your best restaurants are.
Bud's is in Palm Beach County. That might have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, South Florida County superlatives. Which county has the best high school sports?
I'm going to go I don't know. It's tough. It depends on the sport.
I am going to go Broward. I think Broward is 1, Miami-Dade is 2. It's close.
Where you at, Palm Beach? Let's get it together.
Yeah, they're third. Just
they're 3 out of 3.
Well, you got Broward has got schools like St. Thomas Aquinas that just dominate in pretty much everything. I don't know what they're not good at.
Palm Beach County's got Dwyer. They were very good in basketball back in the mid '90s. I don't know how they are now.
Okay. Yeah. Park Vista just won the softball state championship. Okay. And then, Miami-Dade, a lot of this I go on football because it gets the most attention. But, yeah, there's, 3, 4 solid schools there. So let's toss up on that. Okay, best college in South Florida. Probably the U.
FAU, yeah, I agree. Hoo-hoo!
Did you see that alumni spotlight?
Of course he played
You're
it.
right. Yeah. I heard it, Virginia. I know it.
I've watched it like 10 times.
Oh,
I
get out
can't
of here.
get enough.
Get out of here.
Man is captivating.
Yeah.
In case you haven't seen it, the FAU did a spotlight on one Jaybird Jason Pennington.
Okay.
Yeah. Rachel Lee, good job.
Let me see. Which county has the most people who smoke weed? That's probably a Denny's question. Yeah. If you had to say South Florida County, who smokes the most weed?
You got to do it on numbers, and if you do it on numbers, it's Miami-Dade.
Not necessarily.
I don't know. Denny's
Denny's,
our
you're an
resident
expert.
weed expert here. What do you think? You had to say which South Florida county.
Oh, man.
Go with your gut.
Back in the day, which did you sell the most to?
Well, we used to come down here to Palm Beach to pick up, and then we'd ride it back to Martin County. I know there's a lot of pot smoking in Martin County.
Oh, there's so much. And in Port St. Lucie.
And Port St. Lucie as well. Big hot spots for it. If I had to guess, I'd probably say Broward, just because, I mean, I just feel like, and they were pretty quick to adopt it for medical as well, so they got a little bit of a head start.
And plus, when
on
we
West
were,
Palm.
when we were living in Broward and we got fired,
I mean, I
so
found
much weed was smoked, Kevin.
I think I found weed in like 1 week there. Less than a week, we had a solid plug. A few plugs, actually.
Plugs.
You're selling yourself so short. It was-
By plug, is that your dealer?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the person you buy from.
he went out to do
I always learned
karaoke.
so much.
You got to explain it to Kevin. He's like, what's a plug?
I'm like, yeah.
Kevin only knows hair plugs.
We
Yeah.
we moved on a Monday. He went out for karaoke on a Tuesday night, and he had his
You went out for karaoke on a Tuesday?
He wasn't working yet.
Oh.
He didn't get a job yet.
I was trying to link up with people, try to figure out, what the pulse was. So I went around and yeah, locked it down pretty quick. It was pretty easy in Broward.
Karaoke at one night.
Karaoke.
Okay. All right. There you go. Any thoughts on what we said here for the South Florida County superlatives? Here we go. Talking about these South Florida County superlatives, had many different categories. Somebody wanted to qualify, too, and say, yeah, if you wanted to define basically what South Florida is, somebody said everything south of Melbourne is South Florida. And you got to keep in mind, too, like, Monroe County, it's got the Keys.
Okay.
Yeah, so that definitely counts as well. But, we're talking about nicest, meanest people, best restaurants, best athletics, things like that. So just, your more populous counties, Miami-Dade's 1, Broward's 2, Palm Beach 3.
Are the locals in the Keys, are they nice, or are they trying to get run from something and they want you to leave them alone?
No, they're very nice.
They're nice, okay.
Yeah, my experience with everybody there that I know.
I thought I heard Virginia say if you move to the Keys, you're running from and hiding from something.
I know people that have done that.
Okay, it was you.
When I was living in Louisiana, I had an ex-boyfriend who was always running from something. And we hadn't talked in years. And me and my girlfriend did a girls' trip to the Keys long before I lived in Florida. And we go into this bar, and it's him behind the bar. He's bartending. And I'm like, Cliff, what are you doing? And he's like, I just had to get away. I had to get out. I'm running from a lot.
Get off the grid.
I was like, whoa, okay. He literally did. And he was like working like under the table as a bartender.
Yeah, in fact, somebody said if you're talking about the Keys, people might and arguably are the sweetest in the Keys because they're not stressed like especially the lower 3 counties outside of Monroe. Everybody's stressed. We're running around. We got traffic. They're just kind of like chill. It's just like, all we see is water all the time, and we don't have hands on the clocks. It's just chill.
They like that vibe,
Yeah.
too. Like, they have often talked about seceding from the United States because they want to be their own, like, little chill place, a sanctuary.
So they probably stay away from all of the local stuff anyway, where all the all the tourist attractions, because that's probably what would annoy them. And their regular day life is where their sweetest pumpkin pie, right? Does that make sense?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Somebody said, hey, keep in mind, Palm Beach includes Belglade and Pahokee. I'm pretty sure the most NFL players come out of Palm Beach County because of those 2 towns. Yeah, the muck.
That's right.
We have a lot of golfers that come out of Palm Beach County and a lot of baseball players as well.
Yeah, so when you're talking about athletics, now because the golfers, tennis players.
Williams' sister's out of Palm Beach County.
Yeah, and the muck too. I mean, I don't know that they're same status they were about maybe 10, 20 years ago, both those schools, but they still crank out a lot of good talent. So, good argument. Palm Beach might be the best for athletes. Good points. All right, anything else you want to add to us, you can send us emails, and we'll try to get to it on the After the Show podcast today. Just send it to mail, MAIL, @kvjshow.com.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Pot bars. Yes. Pot bars, they say, is going to be the new thing at weddings. Pot bars, and it is what it sounds like. It is weed at the wedding. They say in states where it is recreationally legal, like Colorado, this is going to be the new thing. You can hire a service to come to your reception and serve cannabis to your guests.
Okay. I mean, for a long time.
Denny's is like, dang it, I just got married.
You could do like
recommitment ceremony.
Cigar rollers at your ceremony. Is it the same thing? You'll have like somebody sitting there rolling you joints?
Yeah, basically that's pretty much it. But you can do all kinds of different stuff with it. Like, for instance, this company called Irie is a company that will come in. They're fully insured. They offer everything from micro edibles, joints, vape canisters. So, yeah, you could have somebody sitting there just rolling the biggest Bob Marley doobie right at your wedding.
Well, Peace Train was telling me when he was living in Colorado, they would have these pot bars. And he says, you know, they have somebody come up, they roll the joint for you right in front of you, get it all ready. You smoke it inside if you want, go outside.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it really
it's crazy to me.
It's crazy to us because we've never known that way of life.
Yeah, but it could be a reality. It's going to take, obviously, Florida making it legal for recreational use. And who knows if that will ever happen, and if so, when.
Denny's thinks it's going to happen sooner than later.
Okay. Might.
That's what the weed messiah
Wait,
said.
Denny's is pot hopeful?
But I think he's pot hopeful, but I also think he has a clear head when it comes to these kind of decisions. He's not going to say, no, it's definitely coming just because he wants it to come. He's going to make a judgment call because he researches this stuff.
So his mind is clear when it comes to weed.
I know it's kind of a
He's clear-headed. Did you just say that?
I did. I sound high.
He's clear-headed when it comes to things about weed.
I defend my boy. I'll shut up, Denny.
Okay. Yeah, they say if you'd like to get a bud tender, as they call them, they will hand off big old doobs right to the guests who want them. In fact, you could even be smoking on your way down the aisle if you so choose.
Oh, I'm sure that has happened.
There will be brides and grooms that do that.
A weeding.
That's right.
A weeding.
Oh, would it be a weeding? Gosh. Yeah, I wonder if for like a state like Colorado, that could help with destination weddings. If you are that big of a pot smoker and so are all your friends, and you told them, hey, we're having a weeding in Colorado, and they're like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, we're going to have bud tenders, and you're like,
oh, wow, the first wedding that doesn't suck.
I mean, I bet they are booked solid on 420. Which is
I couldn't even imagine. Yeah,
like next year, April of 2020
for weed weddings.
The whole month is booked so solid.
They have some guy that or a woman that officiates the wedding that's very much involved in weed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there you go. Maybe could that be the greatest wedding theme of all time? Pot. Well, if you're a person who is like, man, I had to quit smoking. I don't believe in it. It's a bad habit. There is something for you. If you have any kind of bad habit, and we all probably, in fact, I believe really we all need at least one vice or risk being completely boring. You know, if you can't say, I don't have any bad habit or something that I probably shouldn't be doing, then I don't know.
Is your vice definitely craft beer or just
craft beer? Be my vice. Yeah, that'd be my vice that, you know, you're like, okay, you can argue it and say, Kev, come on, man. Come on, man. But I'm like going, okay, what else do I have?
When should you be alarmed when you have more than 5 vices? Depending on, it doesn't have to always be alcohol. And
count them up. We'll see who has the most.
Women.
Yeah, you're right. Women can be a vice.
Who on KVJ has the most vices? What are they? And I will actually tell you the secret to breaking any vice you have that you don't like coming up next. Well, who has the most vices here on the show? Yeah, mine would be craft beer. It's the one thing I like. Probably shouldn't do it. Not real slimming. And, you know, obviously it's an intoxicant. Have too many of them puppies, you get a little goofy.
Have a not enough, you get a little goofy.
Okay.
What? You drinking again?
Yeah. Would you say, does Virginia have the most vices on the show?
Well, here's the thing about Virginia. Virginia doesn't eat that poorly. She's pretty solid with her diet. I mean, she'll get crazier than you, but neither one of you. I would not say you guys when it comes to food that would be one of your vices. I don't think you guys abuse it enough.
No, I try not to.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on the food.
I figure I'm drinking so many calories. I need to be careful with the food.
Absolutely. You can't let it all go.
Alcohol for you. In fact, you should want to call that. Give her 2 points for her drinking.
2.
Yeah, I don't know how you narrow it down just to craft beer. I'm like, I can't pick one.
Well, yeah, so that's what my question is. When you say intoxicants, are you talking about, are we just going to call bear and...
I think anything, alters your state.
No, do we
sobriety.
list those individually?
I think you could probably, right? Because there are some people who probably would have multiple things on there. It could be drinking, could be different kinds of drugs, and they go, well, I stopped doing this kind of drug, but I still do 3 others.
Get more paper?
Try to count them all down.
I'm not sure I want to play this game.
Yeah, me neither.
Hey, can my answer just be, yeah, man, I got some things I got to work on.
Yeah, I got some things I got to work on.
I got some things I got to work on, and I probably won't.
Yeah.
Well, if you do, and you're having a hard time breaking any of your vices and bad habits, there's a new bracelet out there claiming to literally shock you out of your bad condition.
So every time you have bad behavior, it shocks you?
You shock yourself or someone else shocks you. Now, because otherwise, how would it necessarily know? I mean, is it going to have an eye that it can see a craft beer or smell it or, know that, oh, that's a joint, So it's a bracelet that you put on, and it will send a 350-volt jolt to the wearer every time they find themselves falling victim to a habit that they're working to change.
You could not rely on yourself to be the police on that. Because I know if I strap something up to me, I'll strap myself if I eat another slice of pizza. I'm going to eat my pizza, and I'm not going to shock myself.
That's why if you're worried about dishing out your own self-discipline, you can have a friend or anybody else. They can download an app, and they will have it on the phone, and they be hanging with you.
Can they remotely shock you from they're at their house and you're at yours?
Yeah, that'd be the question. You'd have to probably, if you were serious about doing it, you have to say, hey, anybody who's around me, I'm going to see you at work. My advice is there, or if I'm out with friends, if you got a spouse or a partner or parents, kids, brothers, sisters, whatever, everybody'd have to pretty much have it and be like, all right, if you see me doing it, shock me. I'm aware of this.
Okay, that's interesting. I've been trying to work on my language a little bit, Kev. Some of my swears. This could help me. Every time I swear, you got to zap me.
I love it.
We wouldn't have much to talk about on the podcast.
It's called the Pavlok 2, and it sells for $200 online.
Do you put it on and you just can't take it off?
No, I mean, you put it on, it sounds like you probably be able to take it off. I mean, if you want anything off bad enough, you can do it. I lopped off my right arm. Yeah, they say that the 10 different settings they have sounds a lot just like our shot collars, basically what it is. It will go between a static shock and someone pinching you. So it may not be nearly as tough as ours. Ours really, ours would retrain a husky.
Ours feels like it might be doing damage to our hearts.
It goes into your bones.
Yeah, it does.
So I had a baseball coach that told me if you've got a bad habit and you want to break it, if you consciously try to work on it every single day for 28 days, you can break any bad habit. Do you believe that? I mean, this guy swore by it. I threw really, really weird, and they tried to change my throwing in 28 days. It didn't work because I didn't do it every single day. I didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
But if I would I change it in 28 days?
Muscle memory, I don't know. That's a different question because that's what you're talking about. But when you're talking about a habit, I believe that that's kind of an established concept that people have.
But I heard habit was the same kind of thing, though. 28 days, if you consciously try to break that habit, you can do it.
I believe in that.
Okay.
Because I believe in the mental you can. You're talking a little bit more like with a throwing style. You're retraining your muscle memory. So that I don't know. If you're drastically changing a movement that you're used to doing, would you be able to do that in 28 days? That one I don't know. I believe in the other, though.
Virginia kind of wants to call me out for being sort of wrong. I can tell.
No, I'm just listening. I think every rehab is 28 days, right?
Typically, yeah.
Sandra
When they're
Bullock
movie,
movie.
yeah.
Do you believe that you can really change in 28 days? You can get it all out of your system and refocus?
I know I couldn't. So I don't know about everybody
You got to
else.
really, it starts with you really wanting to do it.
That's it. That's just it right there.
That's it. You got to have the desire, and that's the number one thing. You're not going to break any habit that you don't necessarily really care to break. If your family wants you to break it, but you're like, I kind of like it.
I like partying.
But I do think if you are someone that has the desire, I think you can move mountains in 28 days.
Starts with that. I agree with that. And this company's claiming that within 3 to 5 days, users will begin to notice their cravings significantly reduced, if not entirely.
Wow.
When I quit soda, I could feel the effects, not right away, but day 4 or 5, I started getting pains in my head. My bones were aching. I was a little irritable, a little extra irritable during the dirt.
Are you on soda now?
I'm on a lot of soda right now.
Somebody just suggested this for Rocco.
Oh, yeah. He needs some shock therapy.
Somebody said, too, the shock bracelet was on Shark Tank, and they all ripped the guy for it, said no one would shock themselves.
Oh.
But I think what I'm saying, though, it would be your friends. But that's the only thing. What is the breakdown of if you are devious enough, you're going to hide, you're going to have ways around it. That's the problem with busting smokers and drinkers and things like that is they're doing all these things. So if no one else is aware of it, what are you going to do? Shock them after they're already hammered?
Right.
Oh, they'll think it's funny. Yeah, shock me. Woo!
They might like it.
At least our crew would.
Yeah, so Shark Tank wasn't going for it. I don't know if you will. $200 is a pretty solid price tag, too.
That is steep.
Yeah. Coming up here in just a couple minutes, this is a very big story. I will let you know where you can find Bigfoot, and I'll even tell you what his favorite food is.
Ooh.
Yeah, coming up next.
Want to find the KVJ Show on social media? Just search KVJ Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Simple, huh?
Gotta tell you, Bigfoot is big business these days. In fact, Jay Bird, I've got a Bigfoot surprise coming to you from the Hocking Hills in southeastern Ohio very soon.
Ooh.
Where they have really started to try to up their travel and tourism by claiming Bigfoot sightings, or at least this is Bigfoot country.
So you know every state now pretty much has a Bigfoot. New
Yeah.
York's got a Bigfoot.
There's a story today about if you want to see Bigfoot, you got to go to western Pennsylvania. There's a lot of woods there. So anywhere that there's a lot of woods, people are saying, well, in those woods, there's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is trendy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bigfoot as a species is trendy. We got the Florida Bigfoot, the skunk ape. It's kind of big business down here.
It is. You're right. So pretty much every state is trying to claim it. But there's one state who has the best reports of Bigfoot, and that is North Carolina, where not only there's sightings of Bigfoot, but there's the fact that Bigfoot has a certain food that he loves more than any other, and you will hear about that in this news report.
Vicky Cook.
Was it went in front of my camera?
Well, she's still scratching her head.
Sometimes I said, this can't be real.
Her video, well, it's grainy.
At least 7 or 8.
But her conscience is clear.
Screamed, I didn't know what it was, but that thing was tall.
That thing was tall.
She says the Sasquatch sighting started back in March.
There's one, there's another one.
Footprints are Vicky's proof.
I think I've counted about 8 different size prints. A 16-inch plaster cast. Maybe a juvenile, but look how long it is. That's a big print.
Well, it's a Bigfoot.
It might be a juvenile.
A juvenile. Baby Bigfoot.
Well, I take them things mostly like candy, and
She says she doesn't want her neighbors going hungry.
they love peanut brittle.
What if it's just some dude dressed up in a Bigfoot costume getting snacks from her?
Just getting all kinds of free peanut brittle. It's the best. Oh, they love it.
They love peanut brittle. They're not too crazy. They don't like apples and bananas.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
It's such a dude dressing up.
Have you ever heard that? That's the favorite food of Bigfoot?
I have not.
Well, she's setting it straight.
They love peanut brittle.
They do.
I say I don't think she's lying. I really don't think she's lying. I think she thinks she sees Bigfoot.
Okay. I get it. She probably thinks she does.
I'll have what she's having.
It's got to be good and strong.
By the way,
so strong.
And she probably brewed it herself, actually.
Homemade.
In her barn.
This area is also one of the top sighting or hotbed for UFO sightings as well, North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's some weird things going on there. And they're all reporting it, too. That probably, though, is only the second best Bigfoot report coming out of the state of North Carolina. This will always be the first.
I don't know what it was. He's walking upright like a man.
Okay, what did it look like?
It looked like a giant ape with a man's face. This thing was 10 foot tall.
This thing was 10 foot.
So wait, was he drunk for the 911 call, but then also drunk for the live interview?
Objection, there's no proof that he's been drinking.
No, I've seen the video on this. I don't believe he's inebriated.
What?
What? I know.
There's no proof of that, Virginia.
I don't believe he is. I mean, he actually, I don't know if he's credible, but I believe he is sober when he says,
This thing was 10 foot tall.
10 foot tall.
He had beautiful hair.
Wait, you talking about Bigfoot or Kevin Ralston?
Thank you. I'll take this anytime.
He had beautiful hair.
Beautiful hair.
I love this guy.
He's the best.
I did not shoot
Okay.
the thing.
Was there more than one or just the one?
Just the one.
He sounds hammered, but I know. It's hard to argue he's not.
Well, my only thing is there's no proof of it. Do I think he's hammered?
Just like Bigfoot, there's no proof.
110% he's hammered. And yes, he was drunk for the 911 call and the interview the next day, Virginia.
And I said, get away from here. Would I get in any trouble if I shot and killed this beast?
I can't answer that question.
Okay. There you go.
I love
Get.
it.
I said get. There you go. So that's apparently where Bigfoot is.
I get that's not going to maybe bring the believers along, but don't let those two reports.
I love that you're wearing a Bigfoot shirt today. Accidentally. You had no idea Kevin was going to bring this out.
But I wear a Bigfoot shirt almost every day.
Yeah,
so.
it's not really a stretch. It's about believing, Jay Bird. It's that positivity. That's what you need.
I got to do better than yesterday. I confused the room and the audience.
What you got here for us today?
Your power is in your thought, so stay awake. In other words, remember to remember. Yes. Kind of confused?
No, I like that one because I have to do that when I'm drinking. Remember what happened. Remember what happened. Because I'll forget.
I said get.
I said get.
Did you miss an episode of the KVJ Show? No worries. Find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or kvjshow.com.